Hey, friend, welcome to the Rooted Wellness Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to empowering Christian women to live holistically and on purpose. I am your host, Amanda Adams. I am an occupational therapist, owner of Rooted Therapy and Wellness and Amanda Adams Coaching, as well as the founder of my signature course, The Restoration Remedy, that will officially be launching on January 1st, 2025. So be sure to head over to Rooted Therapy and Wellness on Facebook or Instagram and tune in here each week for more information. I am excited to share this space where faith and wellness collide with you. Whether it's cultivating a peaceful mind, nourishing your body, deepening your walk with God, or anything in between, this podcast offers biblical insights, practical wisdom, expert guidance, encouragement, and a community of like minded women. Discover how to live holy, mind, body, and spirit rooted in faith. Since we're a little over a week away from Thanksgiving, I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk about stress in the holidays. So while the holidays are supposed to be a time of joy, connection, and celebration, they can also bring about a lot of stress, pressure, grief, and anxiety. Between the extra expectations, planning, and expenses, it can feel like it's just one more thing on top of everything else. And while we can't get rid of all of the extra stress that the holidays bring, we can definitely take steps to minimize it and to keep ourselves grounded and regulated so that we're better equipped to handle what does come our way. So if you're feeling the holiday stress building up, please know that you're not alone. I'm going to share a few tips with you today that will hopefully make it a little easier in a holiday season to remember. The first thing that I recommend is to take some time to figure out what your priorities are for the holiday season. This is essential because it helps you to stay focused on what truly matters to you, avoid unnecessary stress, and create a more meaningful and enjoyable experience. And knowing your priorities allows you to be more proactive rather than reactive and to actually savor the season instead of just rushing through it. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge that they aren't giving out any trophies for attending all the gatherings, for having an impeccably decorated home, given the perfect gifts, wearing matchy outfits, or always being full of holiday cheer? If those things truly bring you peace and joy, then keep on keeping on. But if they create an overwhelming level of stress and make you feel like your life is even more chaotic, then it may be time to reconsider a different approach. When figuring out your priorities, consider how you want to feel when the dust settles at the end of the season. Like, do you want to feel just exhausted, overstimulated, stressed out, irritable, disoriented, like you've just been holding on for dear life, like you're glad it's all over and it was just a blur and you didn't handle it very well? Or do you want to feel grounded and peaceful and grateful, connected to your creator and your people, like you created memories that you're going to cherish forever and that you did a pretty good job of handling it? I want you to take some time to reflect on years past and identify what truly brings you happiness during the holidays, and then prioritize those things, and then let go of the obligations and the situations that create more stress and chaos. Stop and ask yourself, what would a stress-free or minimal stress holiday look like for me? What can I eliminate, delegate, or prep in advance to make my life less stressful? And how can I focus more on the experiences and the connections that matter most to me? Maybe that looks like skipping hectic gatherings, simplifying your gift giving, creating more downtime to do the things that you actually enjoy with your loved ones, etc. I invite you to be intentional about cultivating the holiday season that you want. And just a side note, unexpected things are going to come up. So try to stay flexible and open, but let your priorities ground you when you make decisions. Now let's talk about reframing holiday stress and setting realistic expectations. Oftentimes, the expectations that we hold are self-imposed and they sabotage us in the long run. So sometimes it helps to take a step back and remember that we don't have to do things a certain way just because that's the way it's always been done. So keep in mind that the holiday season doesn't have to look like something that you would find on Pinterest or in some glitzy magazine. Focus on what truly matters to you and brings you joy, and let the rest go. Having unrealistic expectations can create unnecessary stress, and it often leads to disappointment and frustration. So setting the bar too high causes us to strive for an idealized version of the holidays and to focus way too much on the outcomes rather than experiencing peace, joy, and gratitude in the moment. So when you let go of perfection, you can more easily appreciate the small joys and moments of connection that make the season special. Having realistic expectations also makes it easier to adapt to challenges whenever they come up and to embrace the season as it unfolds, imperfections and all. Next, I want you to set some healthy boundaries for yourself and for others. And this can be really tough, and it may even lead to feelings of guilt, especially if you're used to being a people pleaser. But know that setting healthy boundaries for the holidays is crucial for you managing your stress and also for protecting your energy, your time, and your mental space to ensure that you can actually enjoy the season. So if you're worried about disappointing other people, remind yourself that the people who truly care about you will respect your need to set limits and that you're ultimately responsible for your own happiness and not anyone else's. As you set healthy boundaries, I want you to use your priorities to guide your decisions about the commitments that you make, the amount of money that you're spending, and how you're scheduling your time. Don't be afraid to say no. Keep in mind that when you say yes to one thing, you're usually saying no to multiple things. So be sure to make your yes a yes and your no a no. When communicating your boundaries to other people, be sure to use clear and direct communication to prevent any misunderstandings and to help other people to respect your decisions. Just a few simple ways that you can do that are thank you for inviting me, but I've already made other plans. I won't be able to make it, but I'd love to catch up another time. Or I'm focusing on a simpler holiday season this year, so I'll be doing things a little differently. Also, remember that you don't have to explain yourself or justify your decisions. Next, make sure that you create margin for rest and downtime. It's absolutely vital that we create margin for rest and downtime in our everyday lives, but it's even more important during the holidays so that we can truly enjoy the holiday experience. Constantly going and doing and producing can lead to exhaustion and overwhelm, and that can make it very difficult to be present and actually enjoy the moment. So, rest isn't always easy to prioritize in a season filled with to dos and social obligations. So, remember that giving yourself permission to rest isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you treat rest as an essential part of your holiday experience, you're investing in your health, your joy, and your ability to connect with others. Rest and downtime give you the chance to pause, reflect, and recalibrate so that you can fully show up as your best self in the moments that matter. Whether that's spending quality time with your loved ones, being present in a conversation, or creating holiday memories, you'll be in a much better place to experience the true spirit of the holidays. So try to designate certain days or evenings as non-negotiable downtime. Scheduling even brief, intentional breaks can help you to stay energized and prevent feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, irritability, resentment, and loss of joy. It's also imperative that you make sure that you're taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I'm not talking about self-care from a worldly perspective, but rather than a God-centered perspective. I'm talking about taking care of our bodies, our minds, and the contents of our souls so that we can be healthy and whole to fully show up, to love and serve others well, and to do what the good Lord put us here to do. So rather than viewing self-care as a luxury or an indulgence, I want you to shift your focus to viewing self-care as a way to steward what God has given you well. A holiday or a packed holiday schedule can interfere with essential habits like sleep, exercise, and nutrition, and that can leave the body more susceptible to stress, fatigue, illness, and a whole host of strange symptoms. So, a few ways for you to make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually are, for one, make sure that you're staying connected to the vine. We're going to talk about staying focused on the reason for the season shortly, but being intentional about grounding yourself in God daily is essential for thriving. Also, rather than having the mindset that you're just going to start a new diet in January and allowing yourself to go all out on all the goodies, try using an 80-20 approach where you eat mostly whole foods that are nourishing 80% of the time, but also giving yourself some grace to enjoy treats 20% of the time. Also, just be mindful of how those treats make you feel. Keep in mind that sugar is very inflammatory and it can cause a whole host of issues like joint pain, irritability, moodiness, poor energy, brain fog, acne, sleep disruptions, suppressed immune function, just feeling terrible in general. I could keep going. But just be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Also, move your body some way, somehow. We have been so conditioned to believe that we have to exercise to weigh a certain amount or to look a certain way. But we need movement just for our bodies to function the way that God designed them. It doesn't have to be anything long or strenuous. Going for a walk or doing some gentle stretching can do a world of good. Also, shoot for half your body weight in ounces of water each day. One of my favorite tools is to tap into your breath. It's one of the fastest and most accessible ways to get the body back into a parasympathetic state. And that's the state where our bodies are at homeostasis and they're in a place of rest, peace, and joy. And it's in that place where we feel grounded and we're able to connect with other people. And it's one of my favorites because you don't have to carve out extra time to do it. And because you can also do it around other people without them knowing what you're doing. Now, there are some breathwork exercises, if you did them around other people, they might would have you committed, but they're never going to notice you just simply taking some deep, full breaths. They aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, she's breathing. What is she doing? Also, make sure you take some time to meditate. And I'm not referring to like worldly woo-woo meditation. I find a scripture, a passage in the Bible to meditate on. Are there also several options for a guided biblical meditation? Some of my favorites are the Abide app. I also recently discovered an app called Hallow that I'm digging. And there's also a couple of podcast options. Hello Mornings has short daily meditations. And then Revelation Wellness has a series called Be Still and Be Loved. Also, make sure you're spending some time outdoors. Like nature is so soothing to the nervous system, and it's our optimal sensory environment. From the sights, the sounds, the colors, the smells, all of it. Like God knew exactly what he was doing. Also, just a fun fact, listening to the birds sing for as little as 6 minutes activates the parasympathetic nervous system and that rest and digest, that relaxation response. Because singing is how birds communicate safety to their little birdie friends, but it also signals safety to the human brain. Also, to spend some time journaling or brain dumping on a regular basis. Like put your thoughts on paper so they will quit rolling around in your head. Also, make sure that you're getting at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. And then don't forget to do more of the things that bring your soul joy. So rather than just mindlessly choosing a default coping mechanism like doom scrolling, vegging out to Netflix, downing a bottle of wine, or the things that ultimately sabotage you, choose something that will actually support you mentally, physically, and spiritually so that you can show up as your best self, love and serve others well, and enjoy the holiday season. Next, let's focus on being present. Being present during the holidays is about fully engaging in the moment, savoring your experiences, giving your attention to the people and activities that matter most, and appreciating the blessings around you. So it can be challenging to stay present in our everyday lives with the barrage of distractions that are constantly thrown our way. And then you add in the whirlwind of holiday festivities, and it takes it to a whole new level. But by practicing being present, it can bring deeper joy, connection, and meaning to the season. When you focus on the present moment, you're less likely to get caught up in the worries about the future or the regrets of the past. Being present also allows you to slow down, to truly savor the sights, the sounds, the feelings of the season. So whether that's the aroma of baked goods, the sound of laughter, or the joy of a holiday tradition. By slowing down and focusing on each moment, you can prevent the holidays from just passing by in a blur. Being present helps you to create memories that you'll cherish for years to come. A few ways that you can practice being present are, for one, start each day with a few moments of quiet reflection and prayer to center yourself and to set an intention for the day. Then throughout the day, take brief pauses to check in with your thoughts and your feelings and take action to reset if needed. Use grounding techniques to bring yourself back into the moment. One of my favorite ways is to focus on using the senses. So just think, what do I see? What do I hear? What do I smell? What do I taste? And what do I feel? And think beyond your hands. Another tool is to complete a body scan. So just ask yourself, am I hot? Am I cold? Am I just red? Am I hungry? Am I full? Am I thirsty? Am I carrying any tension in my body? Where is my energy level? Am I on my game or am I struggling to get it together? What emotion am I experiencing? Use those questions to bring yourself back into the present moment. Also, put your phone away or put it on do not disturb to avoid the temptation of scrolling or responding to notifications. Immerse yourself in the experience rather than just rushing through it. Also, treat each activity as an opportunity to connect, reflect, and simply enjoy. Also, make sure that when you're talking to someone, give them your full attention. Make eye contact. Listen without interrupting and respond thoughtfully. This practice not only strengthens your relationships, but it also keeps you anchored in the moment. And then also make sure you're taking time to pause and enjoy the little things. It's these small moments that often carry the most profound joy. So remember that your presence is the best gift that you can give to others. By showing up fully and authentically, you can create memories and moments that last far longer than material things. Next, make sure you're taking time to practice gratitude. There is always, always, always something to be grateful for. You were on the wake up list this morning, to start there. Gratitude shifts your focus from dwelling on what you lack, what you need to do, any imperfections or unmet expectations, toward appreciating the blessings and the beauty already present in your life. This shifts your focus to the abundance already present, and it fosters a season of love, joy, and connection. Gratitude helps you to slow down, center yourself, and focus on what truly matters, which nurtures a sense of joy and contentment while reducing feelings of stress and anxiety. So set aside a few minutes each day to let God know what you're thankful for. These could be small moments or big blessings. And then while you're at it, don't forget to let your loved ones know how grateful you are for them. Use this as an opportunity to let others feel seen, valued, appreciated, and loved. And last, but certainly not least, remember the reason for the season. Remembering that Jesus is the reason for the season is essential for keeping the true meaning of Christmas at the forefront of your celebrations. With the hustle and bustle and the commercialization of the holiday season, it's so easy to lose sight of the true significance of Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' birth, and the hope, love, and salvation that he brings to the world. He is God's greatest gift to humanity. Remember that we are created in his image, so this holiday season, let's focus on being a reflection of him by offering the world love, grace, kindness, compassion, and generosity. By centering your heart and mind on Christ, you can fill your heart with a peace and joy that transcends your circumstances. Spending time reading and meditating on the birth of Jesus in the Gospels, or doing an Advent study are great ways to steady your focus and to prepare your heart for Christmas. Here's a simple prayer to keep you focused on the true reason for this season. Lord, thank you for sending your son Jesus to be our Savior and light in the darkness. Help us to focus our eyes on him during this season. May our celebrations reflect your love, grace, and hope. And may we be a blessing to others as we honor you. Amen. When you remember that Jesus is the reason for the season, the holidays become more than just a time for festivities. They become a celebration of God's love and a reminder of the hope and joy that we have in him. I hope you found a few tips and reminders here to help you through the holiday season. All right, friends, that's a wrap for this episode. I am so glad that you joined me here today, and I hope that you'll keep coming back for more. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button and share with a friend who may need to hear this message. If you wouldn't mind leaving a review, I would greatly appreciate it. Your feedback helps others to discover the show. If you would like more information about the services that I'll offer, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Rooted Therapy and Wellness, or you can head over to rootedtherapyandwellness.com where you can schedule a free consultation call. Before you go, I want to send you out with a blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift you up, lift his countenance upon you, and give you peace. Talk to you next week, friend.